Elliots' office to raise awareness about the problems facing Julian Assange at the moment. We're wanting Labor to come out strong and support bringing Julian Assange home. At the moment he's in a maximum security prison in the UK, and he's facing extradition to America on trumped up charges. Now these charges are basically made up by the American government to try and convict him, to either give him the life sentence or the death penalty. Now Australia has a policy not to allow extradition of Australian people going to countries that give the death penalty. So this is a really a bad situation that the Australian government is doing, and Labor Party is a part of that. So we want Labor, if they're elected, to do whatever they can to bring Julian Assange home to Australia. He's an Aussie hero. Now I was in Iraq a couple of times during both invasions in 1991 and 2002, and I saw firsthand families, mothers and fathers of kids that have been killed in missile strikes. Now the mainstream media didn't show all this because they were in bed with the military. What I'm really impressed with Julian Assange is that he had the guts to say things how they were, to really to expose the war crimes that America was doing, and so he's an Aussie hero really, and he's already won a lot of journalists' awards. He's a journalist, he's a whistleblower and a freedom fighter, and what does he get for that? Slammed in jail and faced with death. Now the Australian government should be ashamed at being supportive of this process. I mean, right back to Julian Gillard, the Labor government has been completely not only silent but supported the persecution of Julian Assange, and this is just tragic. It's a sad day for humanity, when we can all see the injustices that are being done to this freedom fighter. And he's a journalist. He's exposed war crimes, and really, he should have a medal. He's an Aussie hero, and we should bring him home straight away. Like the soccer player who recently, everyone screamed up about, we don't want him extradited, because he's an Aussie. Well, and they managed to get the extradition dropped.
Low battery.
They should be. He should be brought home. So that's what I think. And those who are upset with the Labor Party, then they've got an option. They can put other candidates first, and preference Labor, down the list if you like. So one candidate that I'd like to introduce is running on a climate change policy, but also has very strong opinions on Julian Assange. And I'd like to, and this is one of the independents that people can vote for, and let Labor know in the next couple of days that you don't approve of what they're doing, and so and don't vote for them first. Put them down the list. And here's one of the options. This is Jim Tait from ICAN.
Yeah, g'day. I'm the leader and founder of ICAN, Independence for Climate Action Now. We're a party of allied independents, and we only have party policy for climate, and outside of climate policy we're independent. So I'm here today in an independent capacity. But there's a few things that bring me here, and they're not unrelated to the climate issue. For a start, I'm a son of North Queensland, from Townsville, the Burdekin area, as is Julian Assange. So I've often thought that if I had pursued IT instead of biology, and instead of becoming an environmental scientist, had pursued journalism, given that I share the same politics as Julian Assange, I could have very easily ended up being him, because his pursuit of unearthing the truth to expose the lies is something that's very dear to the heart of any Australians concerned about justice. And the other connection is that the first time that I was really immersing myself in the study of environmental science was back about 2004, and at that time Australia was engaging in the Iraq war, and it just confronted me at the time that as we were understanding the the impact of climate change impacts, we were launching a war to secure, let's be honest, more oil reserves. Now, at the time, we heard the lie that it was weapons of mass destruction promulgated by our Prime Minister, amongst others. That was shown to be an utter lie. We heard from the US that, they were going to disrupt Al-Qaeda. That was subsequently shown to be an utter lie because the nationalist government of Iraq had no relationship to Al-Qaeda whatsoever. But what has proven to be true is the oil reserves. Since the Iraq war, there's been numerous Western companies, including US-based ones, that have developed and exploited the oil reserves of Iraq. Meanwhile, there's been something like 500,000 Iraqis that got killed during that war, many of which were non-combatant women and children. And so how can we live with this blood on our hands for something that was promulgated for a lie?